As you all heard last night, we've decided to go with a Plan B protocol that Governor Sisolak put out there, which is vaccinated people only into the stadium for Raider games this season. What that does is makes it that we know that we will have full capacity and no masks for the entire season. I said last night it was an easy decision over the two choices. And why I said that is we've had 4 events here that were mask only, that you had to wear a mask mandated, and it's just impossible to police, and it's impossible to have, to just make it happen. There's just so many reasons. It's people forget to put it back on after drinking something or eating something or all those other things. So it's not just people not wanting to do it, but sometimes forgetting to do it. But we're really excited about the opportunity to have consistency this season. And I would say that if people are concerned about taking the shot or whatever, that we will refund their money for the season for the 9 games. We'll give them a full refund, or they can roll their ticket money over till next season. If in fact they roll it over till next season, they'll get the full 10-game season for the 9 games that they're returning. If in fact they get a refund, they will then just pay next year the full price for their season tickets, which will be the same price as this year's. I suppose that the questions that you guys will be able to be answered by some of the people up here. We have people from Clear and from the hospital who give the shots, and Mr. Ventrelli here as well. Rather than go on, I'll turn it over to Dan, and he can introduce them, and then I'll be here to answer any questions you have for me.
Great, thanks, Mark. So we at the Raiders are proud to lead the way to keep our fans, the team, and the community safe. We know it's the right thing to do. We know it's the right way to keep this stadium full all season long and to create the game day experience that our fans love and miss and remember, where they can cheer for their team without masks, gather with their friends and family, and have the good time that they all remember having. So to do that, we partner with Clear. Clear, we believe, is a solution that makes this easy for our fans. You only have to upload your vaccination information one time. It's good for the entire season with just signing into your account. So here to give more information about that is Jerome Pickett from Clear. Jerome is Clear's Senior Vice President of Sports and Entertainment. We know that Clear's led the way in safety and security for years, but Jerome in particular has a lot of great experience in this regard. He's the former EVP and Chief Security Officer of the NBA, and he worked diligently to put in place the protocols that were around the NBA's bubble in Orlando a year ago. So he has great experience and great information to share with all of you. Thanks for being here, Jerome.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mark Davis and Dan Ventrelli for having us here. It's a real honor to be able to be partnered with the Raiders organization to deploy Health Pass and bring fans back safely and quickly. There's so much that we've missed over this last year, and I can speak for myself, and I'm sure I can speak for many of you in saying that, going to a live sporting event and feeling the power of tens of thousands of people just cheering on their team is just something that we all miss. So it'll be great to have that back. And our mission at Clear is to create safer and frictionless experiences. We want to bring people back to doing the things that they love. We think that this is a part of our Come Back Stronger plan, in which we can only make it safer for people to gather, but help them do it easily and reliably as well. Last year, when the skies and the streets were quiet, we knew that there were other places that Clear and our secure identity platform could help. So we hustled and we developed and we launched Health Pass to get people back out there, back to doing the things that they love safely and quickly. So we could not be more excited than to deploy Health Pass with the Raiders and provide fans with a safe, easy, and secure way to prove vaccination when they're attending a game. And even though I've been a Giants fan my entire life, as excited as I am to be at this partnership, I think I'm a Raiders guy now.
We're glad to have you.
Absolutely. Health Pass has been used by hundreds of organizations across the country to help create safer environments, and we're thrilled to bring it to Allegiant Stadium. So starting today, anyone can download the free Clear app, enroll in a few minutes. You can add your vaccination record, and you'll be ready to go for the game. So the Raiders are leading the charge with Health Pass, and I know that fans will come along and support those efforts. So we're happy to answer any questions. I'll turn it back over to the moderator for Q&A.
We also have Glenn Simpson from Community Ambulance. He's the senior director, and he can speak briefly about community's efforts in conjunction with the Raiders to offer vaccinations on site to attendees.
Thanks, Dan. Our focus here at Community Ambulance is to help support the initiative that the Raiders have put forth. We'll be providing vaccinations on site for those that have not received their vaccination. We'll be able to process that here on site. They'll receive their vaccine card at that point, and they'll then be able to follow the protocol to then get it uploaded to Clear. So we're happy to support this community. Like many, we're a part of this community. We want to get this community open to 100%, and we want to do it safely. We want to do it effectively, and we're here to support those efforts.
Media with questions, please raise your hand and I'll bring the mic over to you.
This is for Mark and Dan. It seemed as though you guys worked with Governor Sisolak since your policy was announced right after his speech. I was wondering, what was those conversations like in trying to move forward with having a vaccination mandate on this?
Well, first off, I'll say that Governor Sisolak was dealt a pretty bad hand. Things were going pretty good here in Las Vegas when the pandemic hit. And he's had to scramble every which way but loose. And there's been no certainty, and there still is no certainty. I think people forget that we're still in the middle of a pandemic. It's not over yet. And so we've listened to Governor Sisolak. We've spoken with him on a number of things. And I think what he came up with here was two options that we could have followed. And health and safety is always number one in everything that we do. And we just feel that this part of the process, the way that he came up with it, is the one that we're going to follow. He may change at some point in time in the next month or so before our first game. We don't know that. But right now, what we've got is certainty, at least for the Raider fans, that we're going to have full capacity without masks in that stadium. And for that certainty, I'm just very thankful to the governor for coming up with something that will work for us.
Mr. Davis, Dana Gentry from the Nevada Current. I have two questions for you. First of all, and excuse me if you've already put this out, if I have bought tickets and I don't want to get vaccinated, will I get a refund? And the second question is, will the Raiders embark on any kind of a public relations campaign promoting the vaccination?
I think both of those. Number one, I did mention that season ticket holders, people that purchase tickets that do not want to get vaccinated, can either roll their money over till next season. If they do that, they'll be rolling over 9 games because we had the 1 game already. So if they roll it over, they will get the 10-game package next year. So they won't have to pay for that extra game next year. If they ask for a full refund, which we're also offering, then they will get their full refund and then they'll pay full price next season for the 10 games. The second part about the PR type of thing, yeah, I think we're going to work with the ambulance service on the shots and everything else and work within the community. I think that this process, that the fact that if you come to the game and you haven't had your vaccination, but you desire to go to the game and you decide to get the shot at the stadium, will help to get more people vaccinated. So that's one of the things. And we may put players or something else into a promotional campaign along with both Clear and the ambulance service in the near future.
Kane, a question about the emergency directive by the governor. Certainly it applies to the attendees at the event. What about the workers, the employees that come in here? What about the athletes on the field? if they're not vaccinated, are they going to have to wear a mask?
Oh.
As silly as that sounds, but are they going to have
No.
to wear a mask? Are they under
No,
that
I'll
same
let
directive?
Dan answer that, but basically, there's a collective bargaining agreement that has to do with the players, and Dan can talk about that. As far as the workers, the full-time workers are absolutely going to be vaccinated, and I'm not sure.
Or wear a mask? Will they be let in without a mask?
I believe they still are wearing masks.
Yeah, with
Or both.
respect to players, obviously the collective bargaining agreement governs that relationship, and
Over the state of Nevada's emergency directive.
We're at the very top of the NFL in terms of how many of the percentage of our players that are vaccinated. We're very proud of that. The current directive of the state of Nevada exempts athletes from
Oh, it
the
does?
mask
Okay.
mandate already, but we've obviously gone beyond that and tried to create even greater protections than existed under the current set of rules.
So it does exempt athletes.
It currently does.
They
Yeah.
don't have to.
Could you answer on the workers
Okay.
as well?
Oh, sure, certainly. So we've been vocal about this at the Raiders. We've had a mandatory vaccination policy among all employees that we implemented back in May. So everybody that works for the Raiders on a full-time basis is vaccinated. Everybody, and we insisted on the same from our partners in the stadium. So everybody here from ASM, Levy, the other partners in the stadium, are all vaccinated full-time workers. With respect to part-time workers, the directive contains the option for part-time workers to be present in masks if they are not vaccinated, but all of the full-time workers in the building are fully vaccinated and were fully vaccinated prior to this directive even being issued.
Ross DiMattei with 13 Action News here in Las Vegas. Mark, how concerned are you about, right here, how concerned are you about alienating a certain percentage of your fans who are adamantly against vaccinations and may threaten to never come back to games?
Very, very concerned about that. Health and safety has always been number one throughout this pandemic with us, and we followed every type of edict that came out. That is why we are trying to quickly give them the opportunity to turn in their tickets for full refund and or roll over their money. I don't know what else we could do for them, but when you look at it, it's not just about you, it's the person sitting next to you. And that's who we're trying to protect as well. And it's just something, again, I think everything that happens in today's world, it's almost 50-50 when you get into these types of environments or these types of decisions. And we're willing to make the tough decision. And we hope not to lose any Raider fans because they're the most important thing to us.
Hi, Joe V. Hill with Fox 5. Thanks for taking my question. Do you expect any delays coming in with this process? And what is your advice to fans who come here and want to get through as quickly as possible?
I would say, talk with Clear here.
The process to use Clear Health Pass is very easy. It's a one-time enrollment. So once you enroll, it's a minute or 2 minutes to go through the enrollment process. But from there forward, once you're in the platform, it literally is it's seconds. You do a selfie. Your vaccination records are already uploaded in the platform once you've done that through your enrollment, and you're ready to go. So the idea is that we want people to get to green before they get to the stadium. You could do that up to 12 hours before the game. So while you're at home, you can produce your health pass. You're going to hop in the car or however you're getting to the event, get your green screen going, and as soon as you walk up to the gate, you're already ready to go.
And I do want to say that the timing of this is pretty fortunate for us because we don't have another home game for a month. And so that gives our fans an opportunity to go through the process of the Clear signing up and everything else. And they will have 7 days to make the decision on whether they want to have a refund or not. So the timing of this is, I guess, fortunate for us and our fans because we don't have to make a rushed decision, so to speak, and it gives them time to get the vaccination.
Are the
Right.
PSL fees included in the refunds?
No,
Not the PSL fees, just the price of the ticket.
price of the ticket, absolutely.
Sir, Denise Rush with Channel 3. Just a question about how that's going to look if people do wait till a game day to get vaccinated. Do they just wait in a line? They get their shot, they still have to wear a mask. But how will that work if they wait till a game day?
Yeah, so we're working through the logistics right now with the Raiders organization, but we'll have an area set up on site that is staffed by healthcare professionals that will be able to to go through a similar process right now if you were to go anywhere in the valley and get vaccinated. Once you do that, you receive your vaccination card where that'll be documented. We'll also encourage, at that time to make sure folks return for their second shot. Typically with the Pfizer and the Moderna shot, there is a second dose that's required. And at that point, then that card will then, we'll move that over to Clear side of it, and then Clear from there will be able to assist in getting that uploaded.
I guess for Mark or Jerome here, how do you prevent the fraudulent vaccine cards so that people are actually legitimately, had the vaccines and they don't have the fake cards, and you can come in here and feel confident that the people that you're sitting next to are actually vaccinated?
So the Clear platform, it's based around safety and security. You first have a biometric record of yourself, so you take a selfie, you're attaching your biometrics to the card that you're uploaded. We have image recognition technology that looks at the card itself to make sure that it fits what a valid CDC card is. So you have both pairing your biometric identity along with our image recognition technology on the CDC cards.
So is it like 99.9% foolproof? That
I don't have a percentage, but we if you want to dive a little bit deeper into
Okay.
that, we can pair up with you after.
Mark, and then I was just wondering, being the first NFL franchise to do this, have other owners reached out to you and said, "Hey, Mark, what do what's your thought process? Maybe we're going to do this," or?
No, not at this point, not yet. Again, it went out late last night, so I haven't heard from them. I'm sure they're thinking about what they're going to do. I think last year when we determined that we weren't going to have any fans in the stadium, I think we're the first ones to actually do that as well. And then a number of teams followed us after that. These are not easy decisions, Chris, as you know. They're really not. And we're just willing to make them and moving forward.
Alan Snow with LV Sports Biz. Jerome, have you guys worked on any vaccination mandate arenas or stadiums across the country yet?
We have across sports and entertainment and aviation out 64 partners. So we have been deploying Health Pass for a while for across numerous leagues.
What about this vaccination requirement?
We have been managing vaccine for a number of partners, both sports and entertainment.
Yeah. Obviously, we're Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review Journal. We're talking about the Raiders right now, but do you know of other events at Allegiant Stadium that may be following suit? Is it going to be a stadium-wide thing? And then the other one is, I was looking at the Clear app. The Ace is already on there. So are the Aces also going to employ this?
Tonight's game with the Aces will be mask only, and then we have about 10 days or so before our next game, and we'll be determining that probably later this evening after the game tonight. We'll see how the mask goes. Unfortunately, we're not over 4,000 fans yet, which we will be. Again, because of the protocols, we kept it down to 2,000 fans, and we've just started opening up to others. But other events, I'll let Dan speak to that. But again, right now, it's up to the promoters or whoever it is that are promoting their events.
Yeah, right now it applies to Raiders games. We're going to work with our partners at ASM who help us book and manage the events to determine when it's appropriate to apply to other events or whether it's appropriate to phase it in. We're in that dialogue right now. We want to make sure that we're attracting the best events and to the best venue and giving every opportunity for us to succeed. So we'll work with them to maximize that.
And I think you guys all know that we lost 2 sold-out events based on the mask policy, and that is something that also came into our thought process.
How do you intend to monitor it inside the stadium? Will you have a section for people who have just been vaccinated and are not yet fully vaccinated?
No, we're working through that now, but we'll have an identification mechanism of some kind, which we'll work with community ambulance to implement and make sure that those folks are wearing masks. Obviously, people have purchased tickets with locations already, so we don't have an intention of relocating people, but we will work to make sure we identify those people and enforce appropriately.
Time for one more question, Alan.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Hey, Dan, you have an event, in fact, this Saturday. Will that be functioning under the mask mandate that the governor put into place?
Yes, this Saturday's event will function under the ordinary mask mandate that's applied to previous events.
Okay, and also, Mark, you mentioned you lost 2 sold-out events. What were those events?
I'm not allowed to give the names of them, but they were, and hopefully we'll get them back, and then we'll let you know what they were. But yeah, it was unfortunate, and but again, it's during a pandemic, and health and safety comes first, so we understand why.
Yeah, I do want to follow up on the identity. How do you plan on identifying people who have not been vaccinated who come in and take their mask off? You're not sure. How are they going to be marked as unvaccinated people?
The governor.
No.
That's really a good question.
It's a good question. The governor addressed that yesterday. I think his suggestion was a wristband or something that he said in his press conference. We may look at that. I mean, we're very fortunate to be in a town that's very good at large events. We have some great people that we can talk to. They're very skilled at identifying who should be in a club or in an area or in an exclusive space. So we'll talk with our partners locally and try to figure out the best mechanism to identify those people.
You know, I think that's a good
Yeah.
question. I want to ask a question as well. Can people without tickets get the vaccination as well? Because if they can't, if somebody's got to get the vaccination, if they show their ticket, we'll know where their seat locations are as well, and that might be one way to semi-police it. But again, you know, it's tough, and it's a tough question. It really is.
Real quick, what percentage of the Raiders roster is vaccinated? And secondly, what about people 12 and younger who can't get the vaccine? Will they be allowed
Yes, with masks.
with masks?
Yes.
Okay.
12 and under are with masks.
And the percentage of the team
We
vaccinated?
aren't permitted to disclose a percentage, but I'll tell you we're at the very top of the NFL, and we're proud of that.
Any more questions, guys? Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Again, one of the things that we didn't talk about, and again, this is going to be interesting subject, but people that have season tickets and that have sold season tickets online and sold them, they will not be getting refunds because they're not giving back the whole full season ticket package. So I want that to be clear as well. If they've transferred tickets to a friend, they could also get them transferred back, and then they could have a full season ticket package. But people that have sold tickets, say, to the Monday night game coming up and have made whatever they did, or if they didn't, or for reasons they did, they will not be getting a refund or a rollover.
Okay, thank you, everyone.